now we're going to talk about AutoCodes. Throughout the program, you'll see these buttons that say AutoCodes. Here's one, here's one. On every screen, you'll see AutoCodes buttons. Into the box that's near, like for instance here, the box near the AutoCodes button, you'll have a spot where you can type. And in fact, you could type pages and pages into this because it'll keep scrolling downward. You could also copy and paste into it. If you had a voice system, you could voice into it. If you had a tablet computer, you could write into it. Okay, it's just like a word processor. But the beauty of it is it's designed for using AutoCodes, which are statements that are either already in the system that you can click on or that you can put in the system so that you can click on them. For instance, in this case, if you're sending a report to an attorney or to an MD or whatever, this is the place where you would put in the address of the person you're sending to. Now, I could just type in the address here, but if it's someone I'm going to be working with a lot, like a particular attorney or MD or insurance company, I can AutoCode it. Now, if I hit this AutoCodes button, you'll notice it comes up addressee. So it knows that if it's for this box, we're looking for addressee something. And if I scroll down, here we have MD Jones. This is John Jones, a medical doctor I deal with. Here we have Pierce, which is a law firm. And in a second, I'll show you how to put in your own AutoCodes. Likewise, down here for opening remarks, if I hit AutoCodes, you'll notice it's looking for OR something. And here we have, various AutoCodes for different initial comments. In fact, for instance, you're going to want to put in probably an AutoCode that says something like this. I'm sending this report to you as a professional courtesy because, and this is some language that's going to say, Mr. Smith, or whatever the patient's name is a patient of yours, and I want to give you the opportunity to call me if you have any questions. Okay? To basically send a report to the MD of a new patient just to inform him and get him to consider talking to you and perhaps referring you patients. So here's how you create an AutoCode. I'm going to hit the AutoCodes button here. And by the way, you notice as well that the very first AutoCode in that field, it'll say do not delete this. So you want to always leave that one there. But whatever else you have in that field, you can get rid of if you don't need it. Okay? So I'm going to hit Add or Edit AutoCodes. And by the way, the screen we're on now is a screen that shows you all the AutoCodes in the system that are already in it. Now, if I go to File, Add a new AutoCode, remember we want this to be in the addressee field, right? And let's put, I don't know, let's just say State Farm. Now this part here you don't have to capitalize because it'll automatically capitalize it. This field here, notice it said this is for code number. Use numbers only. So here you can put letters, here you put numbers. So let's say you had State Farm 1 or State Farm 2. You'd put the 1 or 2 here, okay? Now, let's say this is, I don't know, State Farm Insurance, 1, 2, 3 River Road. So if that's the address, there you have it. Now, I'm just typing this in, but if you had something already in a word processor, you could copy and paste it into here, or you could voice it in, or write it in with a tablet, whatever. But the point is, you get the data here, you name it, you put it in the AutoCode, and you hit Save. And now, if I scroll down here, let's see, addressee, you'll see here it is. Here's addressee, State Farm, and here's the text that we just created. And even right now, let's say I realized, oh, wait a minute, I want to change that. I need to, it's River Avenue. So I put my cursor there, I type Avenue, and now I hit Save, and now I've saved it. So likewise, in fact, if I go back to it, you'll see, now it's saved. So you could likewise go into any AutoCode that's already in the system and change it and save it if you just want to change what we have. All right, so that's how that works. Now, I'm going to actually exit out. Actually, before we do that, let's say you wanted to find a prognosis AutoCode and change it. Now, I could scroll down through these all the way to the PRGs, or I could just hit the P on my keyboard, which takes me down here to the first P AutoCode starting with the letter P. And then if I use the arrow, I can scroll down to where I get with the PRG codes. These are prognosis statements that are in the system when you first get it. And I could go into any one of them and change the text of it, okay? So now, so back to our addressee. If I hit AutoCodes, and I then, let's say I want to send it to this State Farm address, I can either double-click it or I can hit Insert Code, okay? I'm just going to double-click it, and you see how it pops into that box. All right? Now, so that's the basics on using AutoCodes. We're going to have another video here shortly on how to customize your AutoCodes so that they will use specifics of your particular chart, like the patient's name or he or she, his, her, himself, herself, and that type of data. All right?